Hello my lovely stinky friends, welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, hi, my name is Melissa or Missa. Welcome. Today we are sponsored by Green and Black Monster. We aren't technically, don't tell on me, I'm just kidding. So today, as you can see by the title, we have a very exciting video because it's a new Beauty Bay launch, and Beauty Bay, if you know me, is one of my favourite brands, probably top 3, top 5, drugstore-ish kind of price. 10 out of 10 quality. I have the vast majority of Beauty Bay palettes that they've ever released. I adore them. I love them with my whole heart and soul. I will die on the hill that their palettes are some of the best palettes out there. And I happen to be on their PR list. I don't know how it happened because I've been raving about them for years, and I was on it and then I wasn't on it, but I'm back on it again. So I got early access to the new Metamorphic palette, and also it came with glitters, and also it came with, I think it was a cake, or it might have been a bath bomb. I don't know, but before I could actually take it, Dan had already broken down the box and put it in the bin. So I don't know what that was, but we got the meat and potatoes of the box, which is the palette and 2 glitters. So the glitters look like this. There's like a white clear stuff. If you focus on them and not me, that'd be great. It's like a white clearish one, and then like a gunmetal-y kind of silvery grey. Obviously I'm going to swatch everything. And then the Metamorphic palette opens up like this, so very different to all of their other designs. It's got 2 mirrors, and I don't know, is that plastic? I think so. They don't usually do plastic palettes, they usually do cardboard palettes, which I prefer, but this is what the inside looks like. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes, the rest are shimmers, so already not my favouriteest launch. I like a lot of mattes and less shimmer, but here we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to swatch this, obviously, on my big beef arm. We are then going to do this look that's on my eyes. I mean, a fringe kind of hides eyeshadow, but we're going to do this look here, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the palette at the end of the video. But let's jump into the swatches without any further ado, because that's the most exciting part. I'm going to swatch these first. So the whitish one is called Surreal, and they're not so much liquid glitters, I would say, as they are very metallic. They are very sparkly, but they're more like full pigment with sparkles and metallicness. Like, they have a Drip Drip dupe by Mitchell, and it's more like sheer and sparkly. Anyway, this shade is then called Slick. This is stunning. I want to do like a neutral smoky eye and then use this on it. It's just a darker, more gunmetal-y, silvery grey. I think it's absolutely stunning. But you can see they're both very, very sparkly, but very like full pigment. So it's not like a topper, but how absolutely gorgeous are they? Like, I feel like also this would be a really cool like lip topper to bring a bit of sparkle to it. This one is definitely my favourite, but this one will be beautiful on inner corners, I think. But anyway, let's get to the more fun part, which is the palette swatching, let's be honest. So I don't have any primer on my arm, and I'm going to build up my swatches. If you don't like it, go away. This is Future. I actually used this a little bit as my highlighter today because it's a little bit like Fenty Diamond Bomb in terms of it's just kind of clear and shimmery. Then we have Spill. Very pretty blue. No complaints about that. They feel moist AF, by the way, like really wet. Then we have our first matte, which is called Morph, and I think it's going to swatch abysmally. Yeah, the mattes in here do not swatch very nicely at all, but having used it on my eyes today, they do go on the eye. They just, I don't know why they don't swatch very well. I don't know how to pronounce this. Digital? Like digital, but with a PH. It's like a blue with a gold reflect to it. Very pretty. Just to me, this is just going to be such an accompanying palette. If you want a lot of shimmers in your life, then you might like this. But if you want something with more mattes, then I don't think this is going to be your cup of tea because it is very much shimmer heavy. This is personally my favourite shade, and it's actually the one that's all over my lids. It's called Prism, and it's blue, pink, green, sheer topperiness. It even has like a bit of lavender. It's just like a really, like that kind of thing is my favourite kind of thing. Just a wash, like a subtle wash of different colour shimmers. Gorgeous. Oh, this colour's pretty. This is called Convert. That is really nice. That one doesn't feel as wet as the other ones. That one feels a little bit more dry, but as you can see, it still swatches absolutely beautifully. Then we have oil. That looks way more blue in the pan, but when you swatch it, it's definitely a lot more purple, but it's kind of got a blue-purple shift to it. I'm wiping all of this on my dressing gown that I literally just took out the wash. Then we have like a pale greyish beige colour. I did actually use it today. It does blend out with the blues, but for me it'd probably be a little bit of a good contour colour. This colour is sick. This is called Algorithm. Very wet. This is kind of a strange thing to launch right before Halloween, I think. Like right now it's the Halloween launches, and they've launched this, which does not feel Halloween-y at all, but then I'm not a Halloween fan, so I don't really care. Then we have Alchemy. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Am I going to fit all of these on my arm? I think so. Mirror. That one doesn't feel as wet either, but as you can see, it is very pigmented. It's very there. This colour is going to go on me when I do like a black grey smoky eye, and I'm going to cream my pants. This is called Tech. Shut up. It's like a black, dark grey, sexy, very glittery gorgeousness. Then we have Parallel. I don't even know if this is very well. I was really shocked when I swatched this, like the day it arrived, at how not great it's swatched. But again, it does go on the eye really nicely. Like, I've got it on. This colour is outrageous. Portal. I really want to do a purple smoky eye with that colour. It's just absolutely stunning. And then last up, I can really dig my finger in to try and get it. We've got System, which is like a blue grey. I'd say more grey, but it's definitely got a blue kind of hint to it. So that is all of the swatches. Let me bring them up closer. What do we think of that? Again, the purple, the like light purple lavender, that swatched really nice, but the other mattes I don't think swatched very well at all, especially considering how good Beauty Bay is and how stunning their mattes are. But this purple down here brings me a lot of happiness. This one, I want to do a dark black grey smoky eye with it. Like I said, it's just sparkly and stunning. This colour here is actually quite interesting the more I look at it, and then this blue is very pretty as well. Yeah, that is all of the swatches. What are your thoughts on that as a colour story? And do you prefer more shimmers or do you prefer more mattes? I don't know if I just said it in the intro, but being honest, this is not my favourite Beauty Bay launch that they've done, obviously. I'm just more of a, I would rather have 90% mattes and then just some shimmers to add in. But I know a lot of people really love like beautiful dual chromy palettes and stuff like that, so I know a lot of people will really like this. And also Beauty Bay just does have a cult following for their palettes, which is so deserved because they are not expensive, although the price probably has gone up. I don't actually know how much this is. I do know these are £14 for the set, so the palette's probably like at least 20, I would say. But yeah, they have a cult following because their palettes are incredible quality and not too expensive. So yeah, now we are going to jump into me putting this eye look on, all with the palette obviously, but I do add some gems and stuff because it's me and I have to. But that is the look. If you want to see me fart about with it, then just keep watching. So I'm starting with a wee pointy brush. I'm being a little bit quiet because Dan is next door and I hate filming when people are here. And I'm going to take the shade Morph, which is like the darkest matte in here. I think I use all the mattes bar one. I don't use the lavender. Maybe I could fit it in somewhere on the other side, I'm not sure. And when I swatched this shade, first I thought it was rubbish, but it does go on the eye okay. But I wouldn't say it's the usual Beauty Bay incredibly pigmented mattes. Also, the cats are trying to get in the room and I am not letting them because they're being hooligans. So if you can hear them banging on the door, just ignore it. Yeah, this colour builds up fine. Again, it's not blowing me away with its pigment, but it's absolutely there. You know what I mean? It's not invisible. Very early on a Sunday morning, I wanted to film this as soon as possible. And then I took that same shade but on like a flat brush, and I'm just going to drag that kind of like a liner all across my eye. Obviously this isn't about the look but how the shadows perform, but I still always end up talking through what I'm doing and just connecting it up. I am going to go in with a black, by the way, which is not in this palette, but I'm not doing it first because I really didn't want it to take over the look. Like, I just wanted a hint of it, so that will be coming. Then I went in with the shade Parallel down here, which is like the second darkest matte. They're very similar in tone, but they are different, and this is on a bigger, fluffier brush just so I can start blending. And I gotta say, they have blended together all these matte shades that I'm using really easily, like with no issues whatsoever. They are very nice colours of blue as well, but as I'm probably going to say a million times, this is not really a standalone palette for me. It's a companion, which isn't a usual Beauty Bay thing to do, but gotta respect them slightly changing things up, I suppose. And then I went in with System, which is down here. It's a very grey blue on, again, another big fat fluffy brush. Yes, I'm in my pajamas. It's also very cold, so I took my dressing gown on. Dragging this out a wee pinch along my tape. So yeah, these colours totally do blend together really easy. Not a problem. And I did want to avoid using another palette as much as possible, which is why this looks maybe not my favourite, but I still wanted to just give this palette a good shot. And then I went in with Avatar, which is this kind of skinish, greyish, almost like contoury colour. Yeah, you probably could contour with that actually. Maybe I'll do that today. I'd quite like to use the palette for highlighter as well. And then I just put this everywhere, all about it, especially down onto my nose because I'm thinking I'll join it into my contour. We'll see. I'm not dragging like all the way along the tape. I actually did on the other eye, but ended up like washing it off. And you probably could blend the lavender into this, to be honest. I think it would work, but I didn't want to put it on. I kind of wanted this to just be very blue, because when I look at this palette I definitely see blue rather than purple, although there is obviously a bit of both in there. Literally just throwing that on. Then I did take a Beauty Bay palette. This is my Book of Magic. Any palette, I just wanted a black. So I'm taking the black from here, just on a teeny wee brush. And again, because I didn't want it to overpower all the other shadows, is why I'm doing it now. Usually I use black first so that I get the maximum depth from it, but a very pigmented black. Oops. Yeah, it's the only deviance I'm making, but I felt like without it I wasn't getting any real depth, and for me to be happy with the look I'm gonna need a bit more depth, to be quite honest. So like, do this or don't do this, you know, whatever you want. And then I'm just going back in with the Metamorphic even, and back into that darkest one, and then I'll go through the blues as I use them just to blend this out and make it look better. I absolutely hate filming when someone else is here, and I am in a really good mood, but I just get really embarrassed. See, I don't feel like that black's taken over, so I feel like I can get away with using it. And I also feel like most people are going to use this palette with other palettes anyway, so I don't feel like I'm cheating that much. And even if I am, I can. It's my channel. Bit more of the lighter blue. So yeah, definitely blends very nicely with no issues whatsoever. And again, after swatching them, I'm very surprised at how well they go on the eye. I thought they were going to go on shockingly. But then again, Beauty Bay rarely lets me down. Rarely. It has happened, but rarely. Bit of like the lighter grey blue, trying to somewhat match my other eye. And then last in with that weird kind of colour. I like the colour actually a lot. I feel like that colour just over the lid on its own will be like quite a cool grungy-esque tone. Then I took just my little pot concealer weird stuff that I've got from, I think it's L'Oreal Infallible. I just took it because I thought it'd be easier. That's silly cats. Just to kind of carve out a bit of a cut crease, but not. I don't know if you can hear beans literally climbing the wall outside my room. Carving it out, but I didn't want it so super duper precise with like a tiny wee brush and like a P. Louise base. I just wanted it a bit softer and also in a bit of a rounded shape on the outer corner. And I'm going to go back with a little pointy brush and just add my line back in a wee bit and also round off this outer bit, and I'm not bothering to clean up. I probably should have, but I didn't, because if I wipe my eye too much when I'm putting makeup on, it just waters like uncontrollably and then makeup doesn't sit on it. So I've just got to be really careful when it comes to like cleaning up makeup looks. And then my favourite shade from here is the shade Prism. So it's the one I wanted to use. Obviously I have swatched this already, but I just think it's stunning. I'm going to put it on, and I tried it wet, I tried it dry, I tried it with my finger. I think the best way is honestly just a dry brush. You tap over any creases and then to pop it on. It's kind of like Mermaids from Peaches and Cream, like kind of that tone. I think if you put this over a white base, it would pop even more and be more impressive. I think it's still stunning just over this concealer, but yeah, I wonder if I should have gone in with a white base. But I mean, look at, it's just like a clear bluish greenish reflect. It's just very, very stunning, and one layer is gorgeous, and then I'm going to tap over it with my finger and it will just be stunning. You can see when you look at the palette, that's the one I've dug into the most. It's just such a gorgeous reflect. I can't get over it, to be honest. That's it with a brush, and then I'm going to go in with a tiny bit on my finger just to pat over, make sure I've got the full. In the light it is just so stunning. And then I also took, just to try and use like another blue, I took this one here called Spill. Again, just dry on a brush and just gonna pat it along that line, which I'm gonna have to go over again with the matte, but still, just to use another little shim sham from in here. Okay, more of my matte blue liner because it's completely lost. Okay, so that is pretty much that. On the other eye, I did take the liquid glitter. Well, I would say it's not so much liquid glitters as it is metallics. I'm sure we spoke about it in the swatches. This one's in the shade Surreal, and I took it on a little teeny tiny brush, it's a Huda brush, and just popped up my inner corner. But I don't know if you actually see it super much when I put my inner corner wing on, but I'm just doing it so I match the other side. It's a very like intense silvery white metallic. It is very, very pretty. And then I did my inner corner wing. I do quite like that this palette has two mirrors. It's quite handy just to look down into them. This is just using the darkest blue shadow in here. You can always clean these up with concealer, so if it doesn't look super neat, it doesn't matter. And like, look how big that one is compared to ridiculous. Although it is quite a moment. I might just make this one a bit longer. Honestly, just put them on to look like really ugly sausages and then clean them up. It's so much easier. Obviously, we're looking a bit bad right now, but it's all gonna change. It's all gonna change. And take out all my fallout. I'm definitely gonna use that shade for contour, just to say that I have. Clean up that line a bit. I feel like I have more shadow up here than I do on this side, so I'm just gonna go back and just kind of try and even myself out a bit. So with various blues that we use and just try and blend them to the best of my ability anyway. Oh, and under the brow I took, where's my brush? That same shade we've been using the whole time. It's my shimmer. It's a stunning brow bone highlight, by the way. When I put my brows on, I'll make it even better because I'm probably going to cover up most of this on my brow, but it's just in case I forget to put it there, because I very often do forget to do brow bone highlight. I'm going to go back to this concealer and my brush. Don't know where I've put it. At my bum probably. There we go. And just put a bit of concealer under here and along here, just so I've got something for my shadow to stick to. And then I took a tiny little pencil, no, it's not a pencil brush, it's a wee liner brush in it, and the darkest blue, and I just did like a line thing underneath just for a bit more interest. Oops, my camera just stopped recording because I got to 30 minutes. Anyway, I was just putting this blue all along here, connecting it to my inner corner wing. And again, you can see it is pigmented and it is going on when you swatch it. It's not the impression you get, I have to say. It doesn't matter if it's a wee bit messy because we're going to go through the centre of that gap, whereas I've gone with that Beauty Bay shimmer more just to use it, to be honest, but it also looks really pretty. It just really catches the light, like look at that. And if I go a bit thick, I can just put a bit more eyeshadow on top of it, which is what I did on the other side. Just like that. Then I put a Barry M eyeliner at the front because it was the first blue I could find in my collection. And it's a very nice blue, to be fair. It's the shade Caution. And then because I'm super bougie, I took a NARS white one for this outer bit. Just that it kind of goes into the sparkly shadow. Eyeliners are always best if you do one layer and then do a second layer, in my opinion. And then I'll take a bit of lighter blue and just slightly blend that line. I might blend it more once my base is on. I'm not sure yet. Okay, I'm going to go throw my brow on. And I'll come back and I'll put all the gems on camera, but my battery's about to die, so I'll change it, do my brow, and then we'll do that together. I'm just going in with a bunch of gems from, they're all like Shein and Amazon, so like some like little crystal ones, some star ones, and then my ABH stars as well. I completely forgot I had them and I never ever use them, but I thought this was the perfect time to use them, to be honest. I don't know if I'll put gems anywhere else, maybe when my base is on. I haven't decided yet, but yeah, just using a wee bit of, I think it's Be Perfect glue, popping them all on just for a bit of pizzazz at the front, you know. And also I forgot to put my brow on like properly, so I had to go and redo that. But yeah, that's all my gems. I think it looks alright. I think it might picture quite well, but we will see. Anyway, I'm going to go throw my base on and then see if we can use this palette as highlighter. I was just putting on pretty much all my makeup. I look really pale, but in real life I don't think I look that pale. But I was touching this eyeshadow and it really is quite silvery, but I'm wondering if it's kind of like Fenty Diamond Bomb-ish, and I could use it as a little bit of a highlight just to go a bit tits, the highlighter, because why not? This clearly isn't a everyday makeup look, so we might as well go a little bit ridiculous with a highlighter. It's just a bit like Fenty Diamond Bomb. It's like kind of a sheer toppery kind of thing. Like, I'm tempted to put it on my eye. Pinch. Oh no, I've already done it. What can I do? Ooh. Yeah, that's cool. It's just like glittery. Like, if you don't like a glittery highlight, I would not stick this on your face. And there's no like shade in here I could use as a blush unless I went in with lavender, which I'm not going to do personally. But I am tempted to like grab a bit of this lavender and maybe try and blend out my lower lash line a tiny bit with it, just to bring in a bit of a purple hue. Just then I can be like, I've used every single matte in here, because there is only what, 4 or 5. I don't think I mind that too much. I think that's alright. I don't think it's ruined the look. Not that this is so much about the look as about how the shadows perform. This lavender's going on really pigmented and nice. Beauty Bay know how to do purples though. I was gonna say they really know how to do blues, but when you swatch these they don't like stick out, but when you put them on your eye, they're fine. Okay, I'm just gonna go through on my lashes, and I think we're pretty much done. Like, I don't think there's much more to add unless I added some more gems, but I don't really know where to put them. And I'm gonna blend this lavender into the blue, by the way, a bit better, but I'm just kind of sticking it on just to see. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I don't think it's looking bad. I suppose I'm wondering if I could use the really pretty purple shimmer in here somewhere, but I don't think I could without absolutely ruining things. Yeah, let me blend into this, and then I'm gonna throw a lash on and a lip, and we will be done. Is my camera really wonky? I feel like it's wonky. Is that straight? Who knows? I finished off all of my makeup. If you're wondering what my lip is, it's actually Mitchell Caramel, and then I put some of that what's it called, Glow Radioactive Gloss from Odin's Eye on top. I'm not sure I love it, but I've committed to it now, so we can't do very much about it. So in terms of the collection, what do I think? Would I recommend it? Yada yada yada. I think if you absolutely adore all the colours in here and you're a huge Beauty Bay collector like I am, then I don't think you'll be disappointed in it. For me, again, it's not a standalone palette. It has to be used with other palettes because it is mostly majority shimmers, like lovely duochrome-esque shimmers. Some of them are just kind of bog standard, some of them are more duochrome, but they all feel stunning. Like, they're wet, they're moist, they're pigmented, you know what I mean? The mattes swatch kind of like crap, but they do go on the eye alright. But for me, it's definitely an accompanying palette. It's not one that you're just gonna do a look with on its own per se. I mean, I was gonna say I did today, but I didn't really. I had to use a black, and then also I added lots of gems because I just felt like it wasn't that exciting. But it is overall very nice quality shimmers. No problem with them at all. Mattes, meh. I could take them or leave them. The liquid glitters are absolutely stunning, but I would say they're less liquid glitter and more liquid metallics. They are glittery in them, but they're more like a solid wash of colour that's sparkly. It's not kind of like the drip drip dupe that they have that's just glitter. So yeah, I do like it, but I actually don't think I would have bought it. If they hadn't sent it to me, I don't think I would have bought this tomorrow when it launches. I don't even think I would have had FOMO because it's just not typically my kind of palette. I tend to declutter like duochrome palettes because I never end up reaching for them. So for me, it's not a total win, but I can see that a lot of people would really, really like it. And I wish it was just in their usual format, like the 16 pan square palettes, just so that it fitted in with the rest of my Beauty Bays better, but it is what it is. I like the packaging. I do think it's cool that it opens up and it's got mirrors and stuff, but for me, it's not Beauty Bay's biggest win at all. If you know me and my makeup style, you know that this palette isn't my perfect Beauty Bay palette, but that is not to say Beauty Bay have gone down in my estimation. They are still like one of my top 5 ever favourite eyeshadows, and the liquid glitters are just, these are stunning, and I can see a lot of people doing really, really pretty things with them. Yeah, so it's just a preference thing, isn't it? If you absolutely adore it, then yes, definitely get it. If you don't think you would end up using it that much, don't get it. That's wise words. Oh crap. That is my exceptionally wise words on the palette. But yeah, thank you so much again to Beauty Bay for sending this to me. I do feel it's really bizarre that I got on their PR list recently because I've been using them and loving them for years. And then randomly they were like, yeah, do you want to be on the PR list? And I was like, absolutely. So it's like still a dream come true. But this collection is just not my favourite that they've ever done. And that is my feelings on it. And I don't have anything more to say. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down below in the comments what you think about it. Are you going to buy it? Are you not? Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to be a Patreon and join our Telegram and Facebook groups, it's a fun time. The link is down below. But I'm going to piss off. And I actually need to wash my hair because these extensions have been in for like 3 or 4 days now. And I really want to wash my hair. It's so greasy and disgusting. And I'm excited to wash it. But yeah, I'm going to piss off. Thank you for watching, and I hope I'll catch you all on the flip side. Bye!